My name is John Vasquez. I'm 67 years old. I'll be 68 next month. I originally grew up in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and I lived out of the city for a few years, then I came back. And I'm now retired, unfortunately, and I'm a happy person now. I'm a very happy person. And eventually I'm going to be leaving New York again, but I'm moving down to Virginia to live with my family down there. So I always thought, I always was attracted to males. And I mean, I dated one friend, we're still friends, but we never had sex. I've never slept with a woman. And I started fooling around with a neighbor when I was about maybe 12 or 13. But you know, that's about as far as I went for a while until I actually became an adult. And then I started having experiences as an adult person when I was about 21. Because I started going to bars and stuff. And in fact, the first night I went to a bar, I met somebody. And I saw them for a while, and it was fine, you know. I didn't know I was gay. I didn't even know the word gay. Okay. I just knew something was different. And I'd go to church and just felt different than everybody else. I didn't really play sports. I was forced to in school, but I really wasn't good at it. And I just felt different than everybody. I kept a lot to myself. So I watched movies like Shakespearean films and things like that, and I like ballet and things like that because I like to see the guys in their tights and stuff. So, and I'd be watching wrestling sometimes with my grandmother and grandfather because the guys were wearing trunks and such. So it was just, you know, it was just attracted to males for a long time. You know, my father had these friends, and I was attracted to them too, but of course I never acted on that. You know. But I just somehow knew that I liked men more than anything else. You know, and I would play with my sister's dolls sometimes when my father wasn't around. And I just knew something was not quite quote unquote normal about me, but I couldn't pinpoint it at all. You know, I just knew that I was different than the other people. And you go to church and the priest would say, well, blah blah blah, this is a sin. And I thought about that, but the more I thought about it, the more I became obsessed with the idea that I like males. And something said, this can't be right. I mean, this can't be wrong because I feel so natural this way. You know? So that's really that's where it all started for me. You know? That was years before I told anybody. I mean, in high school I had a good friend, and when we graduated from high school, one day I was at work and I was talking to him on the phone from my job, and he mentioned the name of a club. I said, oh really? You're gay? And he said, yeah, I knew you were. He said to me, I knew you were. I said, oh. So that was the first time, you know, he invited me to go to a club with him. I mean, he just knew, because we met on the subway station when we were leaving from school. And we saw somebody coming out of the bathroom, had long hair, and we looked at each other and looked at him and looked at each other and decided to laugh. Because, you know, we weren't used to guys with long hair at that time. This was 1965 or 66, so you graduated, yeah. So, yeah, it's a long time ago. And then we became friends, and then one thing led to another, and he took me to the club first time. And the first time I went to the club, I went home with somebody. I was stage 45.
And where was that?
East 45th Street, not far from Grand Central. But afterwards, we started going to other places together, you know. So, the Loft and places like that. And so, yeah. It was, but I had just turned 21 at that time, so, you know, bringing my oats, so to speak, yeah. The only people I told was my younger sister and my older sister, but that was many years later. I was like in my 30s or something like that. And it's only then that I said anything to anybody. My younger sister said, well, I know. I just looked at her and she said that. And we never discussed it. And it was no problem. And my older sister said, the only thing she was concerned with that I was happy and safe.
Did you experience any part of the Stonewall riots?
Actually, I didn't experience that, but soon afterwards, I was in an underground club. Friends, we had gone out together early in the evening, and then said, let's go to this place. I said, okay. And it was a club that was in the basement of this building. And I said, where the hell are they taking me? Because we go into this basement and we go through, and one of the guys knew where it was. Door opened up, and there was this fabulous club with a sunken bar and dance floor. It was wonderful, but unfortunately the fun didn't last very long because the place was raided by the cops that night. We all went to jail. And it would have been fine except that one person got panicky, and there were so many people in the club they couldn't put us in cells. This was on 10th Street, and he ran up the stairs and he jumped out of an open window and he ended up impaling himself on the fence outside the jailhouse. So that delayed us getting out of there because they had to get him off of that fence and had to cut part of the fence away and take him to the hospital with that. And he panicked because he was not an American citizen and he was afraid he would be deported. Well, because of this incident, he got to stay in the country, and he survived all that. And the last I heard, he was okay. You know, maybe internal injuries, I guess, but you know, we could hear him yelling on the fence while they were trying to get it down. And that was the thing that frightened us. Some people lied and didn't give them the real name and identity. I just gave them my identity, and I got what you call it? In the mail, I got a thing to come to court. But what happened was there was so many people in the courtroom that day, and there was only so many of the club people, because there were so many people that day they could deal with. And they started calling names, and the judge said, wait a minute, will everybody in this case please stand up? Well, the whole courtroom stood up. Because there were so many people. And our lawyer at the time was Bella Abzug. You don't remember Bella Abzug? She was our lawyer. And she gave the judge such a hard time. And he said, just forget it, just throw the whole case out.
The AIDS crisis. Share your experience with that.
I've had a few friends pass away because of that. It changed my behavior. I had a boyfriend at first. We used to have sex without any kind of condoms, but then I thought about it, and I said, we better start using condoms. So, unfortunately, he got AIDS anyway, because I guess was messing around with somebody after he left New York, and he calls me and tells me, oh, I've got AIDS. But I followed him to Kansas City anyway, where he was from. And I didn't have too many close friends, but I had a few people pass away from that. And it was a difficult situation, you know, because you just never know who would get it next or who would come. And we didn't know very much about the disease at that time. So people were saying all kinds of things you get from toilets, you know, from that, it's like all kinds of silly stories. And because it wasn't true, it had to be passing fluids from one person to another who had it, you know. So, and of course, back then, when they did have any kind of treatment, it was not good because there was all kinds of pills people would have to take. Now it is, and they call it a cocktail back then. And now it's not that much better, but it's better to the people that they don't have to take as many medications. They don't have so many side effects as before. And people are living longer for many years with it, you know. So it can be handled, but I guess it depends on how long you waited before you went to a doctor to find out the results. And every once in a while I have myself tested if I don't have sex at this point. And I says, you just never know. Things could happen, you know, because it could be hidden in your system. So far, so good. Not been bothered by it, but you just never know, you know. In the 60s, what happened the night that I was in the jail, I left the jail and I was walking out and I ran to this guy who was a member of GAA. And he says, come along with me. You know, he was inviting me to come with him to his home because he wanted to talk to his lover, which of course was a messy experience because we got there and the lover had somebody with him. But he told his lover, and the lover called up the members of the group and they had an emergency meeting, so I stayed around with them and went to the emergency group meeting and I told them what had happened. So I ended up joining the group for a while. But unfortunately, talking about prejudice, this organization was made up mostly of guys who were white. There was few people of color and Hispanics, but we wasn't given much of anything really from the group. And eventually some of us just walked out, got up in front of them in the middle of a meeting and walked out. And we never went back. There were other nice guys there, but the head of the groups, the people who were really running things, had their heads in the sand and didn't pay attention to the fact that we needed to be spoken to in a much more respectful way. I mean, there was a group of drag queens who were in the group, and Sylvia Rivera was one of those people, and she and a few other people just quit and started their own group, which was called STAR, which was called Street Transvestites Active Revolutionaries.
No, wow,
And,
that's cool.
Yeah, and I didn't see her anywhere, but I heard about her a lot, you know. So, and Marsha
Johnson.
Marsha Johnson, yes, Marsha Johnson was also part of that group, and she was quite a funny character because she'd come down Christopher Street and talk to us and talk about when she was in jail and what she would have to do to get an extra sandwich or something like that from the guards and stuff like that, or from the prisoners. And I said, okay, Marsha, you know, whatever, you know. I think it's wonderful that people can get married, they can adopt children, or even have their own children. And they get to live, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's still better than what it was when I was younger. There are more people who are more respectful of us. And there's things you could do that you couldn't do before. Of course, there's still jobs where they won't give you the light of day as far as things are concerned. But and housing and stuff like that, that you can do better than you used to. You know? And you can be open about who you are and what you are. I mean, look at the military. Many things have changed, and I'm glad it has changed because it couldn't go on like that forever. People have to be so secretive about their whole lives. And it's a whole 360-degree turnaround, you know, in many places, and people can be happier today. You know. Now, the organization I belong to, people are all welcomed, and we don't even question the fact that they're transsexuals. They're just people who just happen to be different, but no different than the rest of us. You know. So, say hi, how you doing, you know, what's going on, and just, you know, things like that. You know.
What advice do you have for the LGBTQ community, or even those people who haven't yet come out?
Well, you have to think about it very carefully, about the people around you, who you feel you can trust, and just take it step by step. Don't just run out there and just say, I'm gay, because it's not that simple. You have to really consider your situation. Certain places, unfortunately, it's dangerous for you to just announce such a thing. I mean, if you're ready to do it and you feel it's enough, fine. If you don't feel comfortable with it, then don't do it just yet. Wait till you're a safer situation, either move away or someplace that you feel you can be comfortable and be who yourself. I mean, who you are, because there's too many people who are still being hurt by prejudice and evil people who attack you, not really knowing who you are, not really knowing you, the person that you are. But be proud of who you are anyway.